This evening, first up, 32 years of hard work gone in one terrifying night. 5 masked bandits with guns and cutlasses stormed a Corentyne livestock dealer's home, beating him and his daughters and escaping with over $4 million. The family says police took half an hour to respond and never came back as promised. Also, a wanted mechanic surrenders. A tint shop owner is arrested, and explosive allegations of coerced testimony. The Fagundes murder investigation delivers a dizzying week of developments, and opposition leader claims the whole case is aimed squarely at him. Then, after more than 30 years without a proper market, Buxton is finally getting one. A $338 million modern facility with 136 stalls breaking ground this week, and residents says opportunity is coming home to the village. Meanwhile, July 29 marked the date. The Caribbean Court of Justice will rule on whether extradition proceedings against Extradition Mohammed and his father resumes or are thrown out entirely. 10,000 kilograms of gold, $50 million in alleged tax evasion, and the fate of the opposition leader all hanging on one decision. And the fastest growing Ebola outbreak on record just got worse. Cases in the Congo have tripled in 5 weeks. Health workers are protesting over unpaid wages, and the World Health Organization has received less than half the funding it needs. Those stories and more are coming up. Stay with us. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for July 16th, 2026. I'm Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. We will begin tonight's newscast with a disturbing story. A livestock dealer and his family are traumatized after 5 masked armed bandits stormed their home at No. 1 Road, Corentyne, Berbice on Monday night, making off with over $4 million in cash and jewelry valued at more than $400,000. 51-year-old Narindat Ramnarine was relaxing at his home around 8:30 p.m. when he heard his daughters screaming outside. Investigating the commotion, he was confronted by masked men armed with guns and cutlasses, who ordered him to lie face down before assaulting him about his head and back. The intruders forced Ramnarine into his bedroom and demanded cash. He led them to baskets hidden beneath clothing, where he kept money from his cattle, sheep, and goat trading business, proceeds that had accumulated over 32 years.
Me get $500,000 went and my mattress. Me get $1 million went in 2 clothes basket. I mean, no say take out all the clothes in one and throw it from the bed. Then like them a pack clothes. Then take out all the clothes, throw it from the bed, take out that of 2.5. Me get $1,250,000 in my pocket. What means do business it because me buy cow, sheep and goat. When me take out, when me go in the cream and creep me because me said I don't know about that. Me say me get $1 million or something dollar here. So I take this and I get no more money.
The bandits seized approximately $4.1 million in cash after ransacking the room. Ramnarine's daughter, Jaya Devi, said she was outside with her mother and children when she spotted the men approaching and began shouting for help. Her mother fled to the neighboring yard, while Jaya Devi was confronted and ordered to stay quiet.
3 of them walk in the kitchen, which have 2 guns and 1 cutlass, and one have 1 gun and 1 cutlass with me and my sister.
She and her sister were both assaulted. One struck with a cutlass, the other slapped, and gold jewelry including rings and earrings were stolen from both women. Before fleeing, the bandits fired multiple gunshots, striking 2 parked vehicles and shattering a windscreen. The family says the police took roughly 30 minutes to respond and did not return the following morning as promised to review CCTV footage until relatives recovered spent shell casings and alerted officers themselves. The family is calling for a thorough investigation, saying they remain shaken and fearful that those responsible are still at large. The matter has been reported to the Albion police station and remains under investigation. Staying with current events, after months of legal wrangling, the Caribbean Court of Justice is set to deliver a ruling on July 29th that could determine the fate of opposition leader Extradition Mohammed and his father Nazar Mohammed in their high-profile battle against extradition to the United States. U.S. authorities want the Mohammeds on an 11-count indictment, including mail fraud, wire fraud, and money laundering, connected to allegations of smuggling more than 10,000 kilograms of gold through the United States and evading over $50 million in taxes. Both men have been out on $150,000 bail each, while the case winds through the Ghana courts. Rather than opposing extradition outright, the Mohammeds are challenging the legality of the authority to proceed issued by Home Affairs Minister Wani Waldron, arguing the decision was rushed and politically biased. Their defense pointed to how quickly the authority to proceed was issued, just one day after the U.S. submitted its extradition request on October 30, 2025, suggesting it created an appearance of predetermined approval. The government, represented by Attorney General Anil Nandlal and Senior Counsel Douglas Mendez, has maintained that the minister's role in issuing the authority to proceed is purely administrative, not adjudicative, and rejected claims of bias, arguing that any delay in issuing the authority to proceed could just as easily have drawn criticism. The Mohammeds' judicial review applications were previously dismissed by both the High Court in February and the Court of Appeal in March, before the matter was escalated to the CCJ. In March, the Regional Court granted an interim stay on committal proceedings before the Georgia Magistrates Court, pausing the case pending its final ruling. With arguments concluded since an April 21st hearing, all eyes are now turned to July 29th, when the CCJ's decision will determine whether extradition proceedings against the Mohammeds resume in Guyana or are set aside entirely. Now, an update on a story we've been tracking all week. The investigation into the 2021 execution-style murder of gold dealer Ricardo Paper Shorts Fagundes saw a storm of developments over the past week, with a wanted mechanic surrendering to police, a fifth suspect arrested, and 3 previously held men released on bail. Satruhan Rajkumar, known as Deepu, turned himself into the police on Wednesday, July 15th, accompanied by his attorney Damian De Silva, less than 24 hours after a wanted bulletin was issued for his arrest. Rajkumar, a mechanic of Friendship Housing Scheme East Bank Demerara, is suspected of having contact with the getaway vehicle used after Fagundes' murder. He was taken to CID headquarters and can be held for up to 72 hours without charge unless police secure a court extension. Separately, Troy Singh, owner of an Eccles-based tint shop, was arrested Tuesday and remains in custody at the Kitty Police Station. His attorney, Yuburn Alikak, alleged police are pressing Singh to falsely implicate opposition leader Azruddin Mohammed by claiming Mohammed ordered him to tint the white Toyota field wagon believed to be the killer's getaway car. The arrest follows Tuesday's release of 3 men, Udu Kanu, Amarnath Ramsuk, and Mark Richmond, on $1 million station bail each, after being held for 6 days. Richmond had been ordered to report to investigators daily, though his attorney says no reason was given. Mohammed, who previously employed Richmond and Kanu, had repeatedly accused the government of politically motivated persecution. He also questioned why the alleged key witness Roger Khan has not faced a wanted bulletin. Fagundes was shot outside Palm Court nightclub on Main Street, Georgetown, on March 21, 2021. The case had remained unsolved for over 5 years. An earlier regional security system review found no evidence of police corruption or cover-up in the original investigation. Police have not disclosed specific evidence linking Rajkumar to the case. Stick around on return. Citizen Bank rolls out Saturday banking at 4 branches, and Buxton finally breaks ground on its new $338 million marketplace.
H&T Theater Arts Group presents Till I Find a Place in Guyana, Part 3. She's back.
First, it was the Spanish Connection.
I am pregnant for the same man. You say, Kanye, you pregnant. Yes, you are buying as a friend.
Then it was the Spanish baby.
Listen, I still want for that with you, okay? And I say first come, first serve.
When I say first come, first go!
Now then.
What make you come to Abby this?
This woman messing up my life, man. And why you get rid of shit? We go fix shit for you.
That's steady, me. Por favor.
Saturday, July 18th and Sunday, July 19th at the National Cultural Center. Tickets $3,000 and $2,500. Written by Ronald Hollingsworth and directed by Sharon Cadogan Taylor and Ronald Hollingsworth. Till I Find a Place in Guyana, Part 3. She's back.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for doing surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
GECOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing January 5, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE, if you will be 18 years or older by December 31, 2025, and you're a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM will be posting the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all of the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check if you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. You can make a claim for registration, change or correction to your particulars, or you can object to the inclusion of anyone who you believe should not be on the list. If you are desirous of making a claim or objection, you must visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to do so. Visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your area of residence to conduct any of the above transactions. All GECOM registration offices will open Mondays to Fridays from 8 to 18 hours, Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 14 hours. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Welcome back. Residents and vendors of Buxton Village, East Coast Demerara, are celebrating after a sod-turning ceremony on Wednesday that marked the start of construction of a new $338.1 million marketplace, a project many says is decades overdue. Residents of Buxton believe the development will bring major economic opportunities to the community. Built by Skyline Architect Incorporated, the market is expected to be completed within 8 months, replacing an existing facility dating back to the 19th century that has long needed rehabilitation. The new market is expected to open doors for young entrepreneurs, allowing residents to sell agricultural produce from the backlands and to start their own businesses rather than pursue traditional office jobs. Longtime roadside vendors who have been selling near the market since 2001 welcome the news, saying it's a relief to see progress after years of difficult conditions. The new market is designed to offer a safe, modern, and functional space while preserving Buxton's cultural and commercial identity. It will feature modern sanitary facilities, CCTV security, and integrated waste management system, organized vendor allocation, and an elevated site with a comprehensive drainage network to reduce flooding and improve climate resilience. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Priya Manikchan said the project reflects the government's commitment to uplifting communities nationwide, noting that Buxton's market had not been properly functional in over 30 years. She said the new facility will give vendors and residents a place to thrive economically and gather socially. Once completed, the market will accommodate 136 stalls, a significant expansion from its current capacity, with dedicated sections for fresh produce, general food items, retail shops, salons, barber services, and a specialized meat and fish section. designed to improve hygiene and food security. In other news, no time to get to the bank during the week. Citizen Bank is making banking more convenient by introducing Saturday service at 4 branches across Guyana. Citizen Bank Guyana Incorporated has announced extended Saturday banking hours at 4 of its branches, aimed at giving customers greater access to services outside regular working hours. The bank's Camp Street and Mandela Avenue locations in Georgetown, along with its New Amsterdam Berbice Region 6 and Bartica Region 7 branches, will open on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 12 noon, starting July 11th and running through August 29, 2026. The Saturday service will be suspended on August 1st due to the public holiday. During the extended hours, customers will be able to access a range of services, including opening personal accounts, reactivating dormant or inactive accounts, obtaining and collecting debit cards, registering for e-banking, and submitting retail and consumer loan applications, including personal, residential, housing, and vehicle loans. Citizen Bank says the initiative is designed to improve access to its services for customers and members of the public who may be unable to visit branches during regular hours, and encourage people to take advantage of the extended Saturday sessions at the participating locations. Don't go away after the break. 3 weeks after Venezuela's earthquake, survivors have faced an uncertain future. And Rohingya in Bangladesh, aid agencies warn about conditions of refugee camps.
H&T Theatre Arts Group presents Till I Find a Place in Guyana, Part 3. She's back.
First it was the Spanish connection.
I am pregnant for the same man you say can't get you pregnant. Yes, you are buying as a friend.
Then it was the Spanish baby.
Listen, I still want for that with you, okay? And I say first come, first serve.
And I say first come, first go.
Now then.
What make you come to Abby this?
This woman messing up my life, man. And why y'all get rid of shit? We go fix shit for you.
Steady me. Por favor.
Saturday, July 18 and Sunday, July 19 at the National Cultural Center. Ticket $3,000 and $2,500. Written by Ronald Hollingsworth and directed by Sharon Cadogan Taylor and Ronald Hollingsworth. Till I Find a Place in Guyana, Part 3. She's back.
Problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for do a surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
GECOM will be conducting a claims and objections exercise commencing July 1, 2026 to produce an official list of electors, OLE. If you will be 18 years or older by June 30, 2026, and you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, or naturalization, or a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more, you are eligible for inclusion in the OLE. GECOM has posted the preliminary list of electors, PLE, in all the registration divisions across Guyana for you to check whether you are listed, and if so, whether your particulars are accurate. If you have changed your address since you were registered, you need to visit the GECOM registration office responsible for your new area of residence to apply for a transfer. Tuesday, July 14, 2026 is the last day you can apply for a transfer during this exercise. For more information, contact the GECOM on 225-0278-9 or visit www.gecom.org.gy.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world.
Good evening, I'm Dominic Tint. Tonight, St. Vincent scraps secondary school fees for first-form students. Venezuela shifts from rescue to rebuild as earthquake families wait for answers. Congo's record Ebola outbreak worsens as healthcare workers strike over unpaid wages. And Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh now face extreme weather. We will begin in the Caribbean. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines government has announced the removal of registration-related fees for first-form students entering public and government-assisted private secondary schools. St. Vincent and the Grenadines Education Minister Philip Jackson said the move aims to make education more affordable for Vincentian families. Fees previously charged for registration, processing, and administration will no longer apply. Families who have already made payments will be refunded, with the schools providing details on timelines. 3 weeks after devastating earthquake struck Venezuela, rescue operations are winding down as authorities begin the long task of rebuilding shattered communities. Al Jazeera's Norris Soto reports.
Authorities here are still trying to recover bodies from collapsed buildings. As those operations gradually come to an end, the focus is beginning to shift toward rebuilding. For many survivors of Venezuela's recent earthquake, the uncertainty is far from over. Juan Comana has been living in a tent outside his destroyed home in La Guaira since the earthquakes. His family is still waiting to find out what comes next.
The only thing they've done here is conduct a census. They asked for my name, my ID number, and how many people live here. They inspected the house from the outside, marked it with a red tag, and declared it uninhabitable.
In Playa Verde, government crews have begun repairing one of the few state-sponsored social housing complexes that remain standing after the earthquakes. The goal is to make the apartments safe enough for people to return. Antonio Maynard is one of the residents. Although his apartment is still standing, he and dozens of other families remain outside while repairs continue.
Yes, the government is helping us. It has assumed its responsibilities in response to this disaster, and it's providing the support that's needed.
Most international search and rescue teams have now left Venezuela. The foreign missions that remain are focused on humanitarian assistance, providing food, medical care, and other basic support to families living in temporary camps.
They are giving people false hope, especially those who lost their apartments. All they've done is carry out a census, but rebuilding will take years. That's not true. Right now, we can't trust the government. We haven't received any answers, any assistance, or anything at all.
3 weeks after the earthquakes, headlines are beginning to fade. But for the communities living through this disaster, recovery will take far longer than the moment everything changed. Norris Soto, Al Jazeera, La Guaira.
Healthcare workers battling the Democratic Republic of Congo's fastest growing Ebola outbreak on record have staged protests over months of unpaid wages, with staff burning debris and blocking hospital entrance. Al Jazeera's Carl Legg reports.
Using flames to get their message across. Outside an Ebola treatment center in Bunya, health workers burn debris and block hospital entrances in protest. The battle here isn't only against the virus. Staff say they've spent months risking their lives without being paid.
Since we started working 2.5 months ago, we haven't received anything. We are suffering the consequences because of the community situation. We save lives, and to this day, it's like they are biased in who they pay. They aren't paying us.
The Democratic Republic of Congo is facing its fastest growing Ebola outbreak on record. Doctors Without Borders say confirmed cases have tripled in less than 5 weeks, warning the medical response must expand as a matter of urgency. Yet many of the people leading that response say they are struggling. After staging a walkout earlier this week, staff at an Ebola treatment center in Ituri province returned to work to care for patients.
Even though the doctors still haven't been paid, they have made the effort to stay with us. They came to see us to ask whether we had eaten and to encourage us to eat even just a little.
There is still no approved vaccine or treatment for this strain of Ebola, although the first clinical trial of an antiviral drug has begun. The World Health Organization says 4 out of every 5 new patients are from unknown chains of transmission, with many people dying before reaching a clinic or hospital. It says money is another obstacle.
To date, we've received 40% of the funding that we asked for. Progress is being made, but the outbreak is growing rapidly and spreading widely. We have the tools, we know what to do.
For exhausted healthcare workers, containing one of the world's worst Ebola outbreaks will depend not only on medical resources, but on ensuring the people fighting it are able to keep showing up. Cara Legg, Al Jazeera.
Nearly a decade after fleeing Myanmar, Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh face a new threat: extreme weather. Al Jazeera's Tanvi Chowdhury reports.
For thousands of Rohingya families, the struggle didn't end when they escaped the conflict in Myanmar. Heavy rain swept through the refugee camps in Cox's Bazar earlier this month, destroying shelters and forcing thousands from the place they now call home. Hazara Bibi was among them. She and 6 members of her family are now living in a classroom, waiting to move somewhere safe.
Our shelter was damaged by a landslide. We lost all our belongings and thought we were going to die. There was no way we could stay there any longer, so we had to leave.
For others, the loss is greater. Abu Sukur is mourning his 2 daughters, both teenagers. They were killed alongside several other students and teachers when landslide buried a school.
Many people are still living on those hillsides and they are vulnerable. I appeal to aid agencies and the authorities to relocate them to safer places.
Rohingya refugees are already facing numerous challenges, including shrinking food assistance and dwindling humanitarian aid. For the Rohingya living here, every monsoon brings renewed hardship. Days of heavy rain have triggered floods and landslide, washing away shelters, leaving many families struggling to recover once again. Authorities say they're moving people from the highest risk areas and increasing community awareness.
It's been 9 years, and funding shortages have limited shelter and infrastructure maintenance. Most shelters are old, and around 80% are built on hillsides, making landslides a major cause of casualty.
Rights groups say overcrowding, poor infrastructure, and lack of safe land worsen the impact of extreme weather. The monsoon season isn't over, and many Rohingyas fear the worst is yet to come. Tanvi Chowdhury, Al Jazeera, Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh.
Thanks, Dominique. This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day forecast. And that's it with the 2 headline news for this Thursday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourselves and each other.